This episode of Weed and Grub is brought to you by Quinn.
Quinn is an alt cannabinoid brand that offers real THC products, everything from edibles to vapes, and they ship to all 50 states.
How do they do that? Well, they can do that because their THC products are all extracted from hemp.
All their products are third-party tested, and they use pure, clean ingredients to give you a quality buzz.
Check out their super blends of disposable vapes. It's like live resin, but these vapes have a variety of major and minor cannabinoids, including THCO, Delta 8, CBG, and CBN.
Check out Quinn online and use our promo code Weed and Grub at checkout to get a special discount for the week of July 4th. It's 40% off.
Yeah, visit myquinn.com. That's MYQWIN.com and use code Weed and Grub at checkout to get a discount on Quinn's edibles, vapes, concentrates, and more. 40% off all week of July 4th. Weed and Grub, Quinn, check it out.
Shazam.
Hello, and welcome to Weed and Grub.
Evidently, there's too much ice cream here at the Top Tree Studio.
I'm happy to help.
We've been asked to do our bit and make a dent in the ice cream freezer, which is sounds great. I mean, that's the best thing I've ever been asked to do.
Producer Mark, are you addicted to sugar? I
Yes.
am too.
Yeah.
I am too. It's
full
real.
on.
Which, speaking of, I'm going to grab a little snack
Ooh,
plug and try this.
Can I have one too?
Yeah.
Thank you.
They're Coca-Cola flavored from Haribo. Thank you,
Ooh,
snack plug.
Thank you. The snack plug. Are they different flavors?
I believe so.
Okay.
So
This is exciting.
I had an interesting run-in with some ice cream the other day.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Well, you know how Ben and Jerry's is the top carton or the top pint?
Yeah.
So I because we had the one that has that thick chocolate top to it.
I think they're called topped or toppers.
Toppers.
Mm-hmm.
I went rogue and I saw that and I was like, I want to try another one. And I tried cookie core.
Oh, shit.
Have you tried a cookie core before?
Oh, yeah.
Have you tried one, Mark?
Very familiar.
Fucking don't. If you're anything like Mark and I, it's dangerous because as it melts, you're drinking cookie and
Mhm.
it is a dream come true. I couldn't even get through an 8-minute YouTube video before the pint was gone.
Wowzers.
That's how fast and hard I went.
Wow. That
Yeah.
is going so hard. I avoid buying the topper too now because I'll just eat that whole, and it's magic shell basically, which is just I think the worst substance that you can put into your body.
Yeah, I heard whatever the oil is
Palm
not
oil, I
good
think?
for you.
Yeah,
know.
something. It's real bad.
These are good.
Yeah,
Thank
this
you.
is delicious. Thank you, the snack plug. I have my own ice cream run-in this week. I ate 2 in a row ice cream sandwiches from Trader Joe's. I was just, in bed watching Law and Order, trying to, the white noise machine that soothes my soul. And I had an ice cream sandwich and it made me feel better. And then I remembered I had another one. So I just housed 2, one after
Nice.
the other.
How'd you feel after the second?
Terrible. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of had a tummy ache. I felt sick. My teeth felt weird. Archie was worried about me.
Is it the ice cream sandwich with the chocolate chip cookies and then the tiny chocolate chips around it?
The tinies.
Fucking
It's a very satisfying ice cream sandwich.
yeah.
So I'm willing to do my part here at Top Tree and eat some more.
Well, I saw one of the things in there is Tillamook, which is actually an ice cream I haven't had before. I didn't know that. I mean, it
Oh.
only makes sense that they would do everything from cheese to frozen cheese.
I only knew that they did cheddar.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would like to actually try Tillamook ice cream. If you're
All right.
listening to this and you have an ice cream brand that you love, not a flavor, but a brand,
Yeah.
get at us. I want to know what's out there.
Send it over at Weed and Grub.
At Weed and Grub. Yeah. Mary Jane, give them your address.
I think we use yours for shipping, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Just send us coupons and we'll go buy it out, a store.
What up, Mary Jane?
How's it going, Mike?
Really good. Let me swallow. Welcome to Weed and Grub, everyone. This is a podcast about comedy,
Cannabis,
culture,
cooking,
calling shit out,
and
Curry,
Olympian Lisa Curry.
and Olympian Lisa Curry.
That's right.
60-year-old swimming phenom from Australia, Lisa Curry.
Who's crushing it in the comedy game.
Turns out, a lot of talents, multifaceted.
Our fantastic guest. So excited to get to our wonderful hang with her. But first, we got some stuff to talk about. We got some news.
Mm-hmm.
I also just wanted to shout out Archie, my dog, because he's just been keeping me so soothed lately. I just wanted to give him a little extra love on this podcast. It's like if you need an extra little Archie hug, please come over. He's doing a great job of keeping me calm.
Can he sense when you're vibrating at a frequency that might not agree with your normal vibration?
His whole body changes. His body language changes. Like his fur is different. It's really interesting. He's such a little empath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time you describe Archie as you're familiar,
Yeah.
I can't remember what that movie or TV show or book is that has animal familiars, but I see it more and more between you two, how uniquely, universally tied you are.
I think you might be thinking of the Golden Compass, which is the one that's I think most recently sort of that everyone has this the manifestation of their soul outside them in animal form, and they're referred to as demons in the Golden Compass. But
I absolutely am. Thank you for being so smart.
Well, you're welcome. I mean, not to toot my own horn or anything, but the other night I did think it was funny, especially in light of like just having written recently about like sexism and like, you know, how people think of women and all that kind of stuff. I had a guy tell me that he was sitting next to me. I took myself out to dinner with a crossword, and I was sitting at the bar at the Village Idiot, and I ate a steak and I had a Negroni, and I did the crossword like a fucking boss bitch. And this guy next to me was like, "Excuse me, did you just finish that crossword?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "That's very impressive." And I was like, "Go fuck yourself, dude." How dare you?
You're right.
How dare you talk to me?
How dare you talk to me? And also, I don't need your. I don't like any of
like
that.
your adulation or whatever. I mean, I think he was just looking for an excuse to talk to me, and that's totally fine. And I can like, absolutely, I'll have a conversation with you. Sure. Like, obviously, I'm not here to have a conversation with anyone because I've got a magazine and a pen, but I just thought it was really funny that he told me that it was impressive that I finished a crossword. And I was like, I think you're probably one of those people who underestimates a lot of people.
Yeah, not only that, but your opening gambit is approval. Like, I need approval from you. That's how you start with people, is like by giving them adulation as if they're seeking it, instead of saying something along the lines of like, "Oh, I also enjoy crossword puzzles."
Yeah, I love crosswords. Oh my God, that's awesome. Which one is that? Was it fun to do?
Right.
What was one of the clues?
Not pet you on the head and say like, "Wow, gold star."
Oh my God, a girl doing a crossword.
Fuck that dude. How was the steak?
Made me laugh. The steak was so good. It was good enough that I wanted to have a second one.
Nice.
Like, not right then, but I wanted to go back the next night. I was like, I shouldn't be doing that. It's not good for me.
It sounds really good. What was the crossword in the back of the New Yorker?
Mm-hmm.
I've never done that one. Is it as difficult as the New York Times?
No, it's fun to do because it's not crazy hard. It's like they'll always say how hard it is in the head, you know, the subhead or whatever. It'll be like lightly challenging or, you know, a little more difficult. And that one I think was like, pretty basic. Yeah.
Cool. I love that. I cracked open one on my flight to Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever sit in seat 24E on a United flight to Kentucky, that crossword puzzle is done.
Wow.
In the back of the magazine.
Was it in the airline magazine?
Yeah, totally.
So satisfying.
They're
Finishing
great.
a crossword.
I love them. I knew it was going to be a success story because there were so many blanks. It was like, you know, like blank con or, you know, Los Angeles blank. And I'm like, well, it's either going to be Dodgers, like whatever it is. I love a blank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Also, you corrected me. This is a good thing to just say thank you, especially because we have such a great comedian on. When I was working on that New York Times stand-up bit, and I go, oh, it's an asp, the snake that bit Eve. And I remember it got a great laugh. And afterwards, you very politely, gently, yet formally said, that was really funny. Everyone really laughed. That snake has to do with Cleopatra, not Eve. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. Like a real New York Times moment of accuracy and importance so that I don't sound like an idiot up there.
It was a great joke. And I'm glad that you allowed me to just weigh in on that level. It's so funny because like the urge to correct with this one is so strong. And I'm working on it. Like I really am, because I also just read something where it was like, you know, like correcting people can sometimes be a sign of insecurity. Like you could just live your life. You don't need to make sure that everyone else is doing anything that you need them to do.
Yeah.
So
I don't correct anyone.
I know. And I really appreciate that.
It's meaningless on most levels.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It truly is.
Mm-hmm.
Like something like that. If I'm like, what if I record for Netflix and then I'm up there saying like the Aspen Eve, like that sounds bad.
Right.
That's a shitty thing to have
it was
not fact
It was a
checked.
worthy correction.
Yeah, exactly.
A worthy correction for sure. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, it's the
Nice.
times when it's like, oh, I don't think you've been here before. And then somebody's like, actually, you were here 6 years ago. If you don't remember, da, 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 da.
It's like a dad correction.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, nobody cares.
Nobody
I remember my
cares.
mom used to correct me. There was some argument that we were in, and it was like at Christmas, so there were like people over, so it wasn't like in front of a whole bunch of friends and stuff. And she said something that I tried to correct because I just learned it was something about like Queen Elizabeth. And I was at theater school at the time. And so I was like, actually, we just learned in theater school that this is this. And she was like, she snapped back at me so fast and she corrected me and she was like, no, actually, I'm right. And I was like, okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. Sure. And she made me go get the dictionary in front of everyone and pull it out. And it turned out she was right. And then she like celebrated that in front of everyone. And she was like, and I was like, this, I still remember how crazy it felt. I was like, whoa,
Ew.
You are in direct competition with me right now. That is nuts.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would haunt me with every time I wanted to correct someone now.
A lot of therapy.
Oh,
yeah.
damn.
Ooh.
Right on.
Yeah.
As we get to the news this week,
Yes.
If you are the type of person who feels like America is in chaos and maybe you can't get legal weed where you live, we have a really great alternative for you. And this week, 4th of July week, use code Weed and Grub to get 40% off anything you want from Quinn. QWIN. Thank you, Quinn. I need weed now more than ever.
Yep.
Now more than ever. And it is truly some great products, whether it's a cookie, whether it's a vape, whether it's a cookie that you follow a vape chase with a vape, whatever it is, Weed and Grub, 40% off. So worth it.
Yep, they've got all of these different flavors and different types of cannabinoids, and it's an all cannabinoid brand, so it's all sourced from hemp, so it's legal to ship to all 50 states. And they're fantastic. They hooked us up with cookies and vapes, and I've been really enjoying just like small bites of cookies and then just going on a walk with Archie, and he does his whole King Pee bit. We feel like we own the world.
That's awesome. So go to myquin.com, QWIN. If you are angry at America, well, support a small business like Quinn.
That's
and
right.
if you are angry that weed is not federally legal yet, well, support a small business like Quinn. Support all small businesses. Support everything except for, support our country.
Yeah, support our country, support businesses that support women, support businesses that are coming up from the grassroots.
The grass's roots.
Support roots.
Support the
Yay,
fucking
grass.
Yeah, if you like grass, support the roots. You heard it here first.
Use code Weed and Grub at checkout for 40% off the week of July 4th at myquin.com, myqwin.com.
Yeah. What's their news story
So
this
let's
week?
get to the news. This is actually a really great story. We've got coming from Marijuana Moment. They're reporting about the California State Fair having the first ever state sanctioned weed competition.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this just happened. I remember when it was announced, and it was a big deal because all of the cannabis competitions were like, kind of jockeying for position and like who's going to get like first seat at this table to have the state sanctioned competition. And I was interested to see how it shook out. They did it really simply. They just announced winners in Best of California, Indoor, Outdoor, and Mixed Light. Those were all of the categories, and it sounds like it just went great and people were really stoked about it. The major winners were companies that I don't actually know that much about. Essentia is one that I have heard of. Green Shock Farms and Mocha Humboldt were the big winners, and it was presented by Colas, who we met with in Sacramento.
Yeah, we did. They're awesome.
They're great.
Oh, there's some Colas here right now.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
That's crazy. Kicks.
So congratulations to the first ever California State Fair winners of the first ever state sanctioned weed awards. And I think that is probably a model for competitions to come all around the country as more and more states go legal. I'm excited to go to like the first ever New York State Fair weed competition,
Yeah, that's really cool. It also makes me think of, we've gotten into these debates before, and it's one that feels like small to me. It's not that important to me, but a lot of people are like, we need to stop using indica sativa hybrid. We need to branch out from that, even though that is a universal understanding. It is no longer accurate. So how do you feel about categories like indoor, outdoor, mixed light as a new type of category to achieve like great weed under?
I think it's fantastic because those are actually distinct categories that, and then each category, you're just judging the best of that growing. I think like judging on how the weed is grown is a much better defining category than, indica, sativa, and hybrid is totally, it's meaningless really at this point.
At this point it is. It's all hot dogs. It's just where do you
Everything
like your
is
hot
a
dogs?
hybrid, and like indica isn't necessarily a defining characteristic for something that is necessarily going to relax you. Like indica might make you have an energizing feeling, just like indica for some people is energizing. Sativas for some people are just anxiety inducing. It's like, we don't know.
Can you hand me that bag right there?
Sure.
Or no, can you hand me that right there?
Yeah.
It's a limited edition. Yeah. Yes, but actually the other one. Yeah, thank you. This isn't an ad. This isn't paid for. This isn't anything. But I just want to shout out THC Design for their log cabin limited drop.
Hell
It's
yes.
coming soon, and they hooked me up with a couple of them, and they are rocking. So for 4th of July weekend, I just wanted to say thank you to THC Design for their log cabin pre-roll. It's tasty, pine, earthy, citrus, sweet, maple, good density. It's lemon OGKB and biker kush. And a limited edition from THC Design, which again just goes back to it's how it's grown, not the because it's all about the peonies.
It's all about the peonies. I'm excited. By the time this comes out, I will have gone to my first event at THC Design. I've never gone to check out their facility because you've been to a few of their speakeasies, right?
Thanks to our guest today.
Oh,
holy cow!
Whoa, what a cool tie-in.
Let's do Buds of the Week.
Okay.
And then Okay, so I'll talk about this tie-in.
Yeah.
Buds of the Week, and then the tie-in is tied.
Perfect.
Okay, let's double knot this bitch. The first THC Design party I ever got to go to was because of our guest this week, Lisa Curry, and it was Shavo, her, me, and Kelly, the producer of the Jim Jeffries show. And that THC Design party is how you and I got to be on Jim Jeffries' podcast. It's how Shavo and I got to be pals. It's how Lisa and I met in the weed world and the comedy world. Well, fucking
there it is.
Awesome.
THC Design, bringing it all together, connecting cannabis with good people.
100%. And that also ties into our interview with Lisa today about, I think at the end of the interview, how we talk about there's room for everyone and it's all about giving and getting.
Abundance thinking.
Abundance fucking thinking.
Yeah.
Well, let's do Buds of the Week and then I'll keep gushing over Lisa.
Yeah. Do you want to go first or second for Buds of the Week?
It's up to you.
No, it's up to you. I'm asking you.
I would like to go second because I think my bud might be a double bud.
Okay. So my bud of the week is Stephanie, aka Cakes. We haven't met in real life yet. I'm really excited to connect with her in person. We've just been chatting online a lot because she's a woman crushing in cannabis. And she DM'd me when that article about sexism came out. And she was like, thanks for just talking about some stuff that women face in weed. And yes. And I was like, okay, this is, it's just great to hear from some people who are crushing it in weed, but also feeling the need to talk openly about some of the issues we're all facing. So she's great. She's killing it in cannabis. She just dropped off a box of amazing gifts for me on my doorstep the other day, just at the right time when the world was just going crazy. And I was like, oh, this is perfect balm for my soul. So thank you, Stephanie. I'm so grateful to you for everything that you do. And I'm so glad to just know you in the world. So she's my bud of the week. And follow her at Stephanie Cakes. And it's an underscore on either side of that. _ Stephanie Cakes _
Nice.
Yeah.
Great bud of the week.
She's awesome.
My bud of the week this week is Ed at Ed Not Fred. Ed is an awesome part of the Top Tree team who, if you've liked any of our TikToks, any of our reels, that's all Ed.
Yeah.
That's all Ed.
So funny.
Thank you for the 2 million views on our TikTok with the Cousteaus. Thank you for blowing us up, growing our socials, listening to the pod, enjoying it, and then just making these incredible TikToks and reels. So if you are also someone who is looking for a little bit of social media help, hit up at Ed Not Fred. And also, if you live in New York, Homeboy's got some dates coming up where he's performing at the Soho Playhouse, and then he's going to be in Europe. Follow at Ed Not Fred. Support the homie. He's supporting us, just like Mark, just like Top Tree Studio, Jonathan, Lane, Natasha. Come on. It's all family. It's all family. So Ed is my bud of the week because he does great work, and he's a really great guy.
So funny. I love the way he pulls out little animated clips and everything to sort of support and underscore some of the crazy shit that you and I say.
Yeah.
He just makes it all funnier, and it's a cool feeling.
The one that I dropped today on our channels, this will have come out a couple weeks ago, but most of the comments are, I'm dumber for listening to this.
Yeah, totally. My brain just slid out my ear.
Yeah.
Great. That's what we want.
Exactly. So should we get to our VIB, our very important bud?
Yes. Lisa Curry. Oh my God. What a fun time.
Yeah. An incredibly talented comedian, incredibly talented, giving and hustling person. And also, I just want to say thank you again for connecting us with Jim Jeffries' show, Kelly, THC Design. It's all a tight-knit fam. And when that fam is climbing the mountain together, it feels really good.
Yeah, she's such a generous, funny, warm spirit. She just kind of radiates really, she's so fucking funny. And that light just I don't know, it was just, I'm a little without words because it's just, you don't encounter people like that often enough in the world, I think.
Fuck no.
Yeah, we need it.
go see her live, and then in August, go see her open for Jim Jeffries in Vegas.
Fuck yes.
Treat yourself to a room at the Cosmo.
Yeah.
Give them $20 at the check-in line, and then they'll upgrade your room.
But you got to do it with your ID first, right?
Yeah,
just
you
give
put the
them
$20
$20
under
with
the
your
ID. Yes. And they'll upgrade your room, and then you'll see Lisa perform, and you'll have a nice hot tub in your Cosmopolitan room, and then you can buy a bottle of champagne.
Yep.
And just get hammered.
Yeah, and also there's legal weed in Nevada.
Steal weed. Let's
go steal some weed in Nevada. Yeah. Let's go.
Okay. I'm not correcting you on that.
Nope.
Okay, without further ado, here's our interview with
Lisa Curry. Mike, I know you love a good buzz.
MJ, you really do know me.
But if you're on the road doing comedy and you travel to a state where cannabis is still illegal, you might think there aren't a lot of options for you to bring along safely.
True, but no way. I'm here to tell you that no matter where you are, you do have options with Quinn.
That's right. Quinn is an alt cannabinoid brand that is selling real THC products, everything from edibles to vapes, and they ship to all 50 states.
So how do they ship to all 50 states? It's because their THC products are all extracted from hemp. It's amazing.
All Quinn products are third-party tested, and they use only the cleanest ingredients to give you a quality high.
Try their Super Blend disposable vapes. It's like live resin, but these vapes have a variety of major and minor cannabinoids, including THCO, Delta 8, CBG, and CBN.
And they're legal in all 50 states because they're derived from hemp. You can use our coupon code to get a special discount for the week of July 4th. Get 40% off.
40% off? How do I do that? Well, you go to myquinn, that's MYQWIN.com, and use promo code Weed and Grub to get 40% off all week of July 4th.
Weed and Grub.
Okay, so what I was going to say, Lisa Curry, was that I talk about you an uncomfortable amount, not on the podcast, but outside the podcast.
Really nice.
I like... Is it weird to say I like think about you because I think you're cool?
No, that's not weird. I do that with people all the time.
Yeah, you're just rad and you work so hard, and I've absolutely like stolen hustle from you.
I love that. That makes me so happy.
You've like created so many opportunities for yourself and then delivered on them. And I'm just like, anyway, I talk about you a lot. So thanks for being on the pod.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. That's so flattering. That makes me want to cry a little bit.
I like this phrase stolen hustle a lot. Because he really does. I mean, because I spend so much time with Mike, I've heard a ton about you. So I feel like,
I love that.
Yeah, it's just very cool to sit and get to hang out with you on the pod now. And
yeah, I think it's, well, I'm addicted to work. So I don't know if that's a problem. And then, yeah, I have been told 1,000 times, like agents and managers are like, ooh, yeah, we need this, or you're not enough of this or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I don't agree with that. So I'm just going to go find work for myself. Fuck you.
Yeah. Well, can I just give a quick resume so you don't have to talk about yourself too much?
Absolutely.
Unless you like to talk about yourself.
Please go for it.
Great stand-up comedian.
Oh, thank you.
2 albums?
1 album.
1 album.
I'm working on my second one.
Working on your second one because you recorded in London?
Yeah.
Your first one?
I recorded my first one in London.
Whoa.
And Jim Jeffries writer
for
the Jim Jeffries show, which led to you being his opener.
Yeah.
Which I have a lot of private jet questions that we'll get to eventually.
Yeah.
You've also booked your own tours all over America.
And the world, right?
Europe. Yeah. You've toured the fucking world on your own hustle.
Uh-huh.
And you grew up in Arkansas?
Indiana.
Arkansas. They're all fucking square. And you have a great dog.
I do. I love her so much. She's the best.
Am I missing anything?
I think that.
Oh, an Olympian writer. You wrote a book about being an Olympian. That was the other one. Yeah.
Please check out my forthcoming book, Life at 60 by Lisa Curry.
Please set this up for our listeners because I just learned about this and it's amazing.
So wait, tell what I told you.
Yes.
So my name on Instagram, where you should hit that follow button, is Olympian Lisa Curry. And the reason is there's an Olympic gold medalist in Australia named Lisa Curry, and she took our name. So I was like, well, fuck you. I'm taking Olympian. And a couple months ago, I fired my manager because he just wasn't with it. And then a couple weeks ago, he wrote me an email asking if I had written a book. Folks, the other Lisa Curry wrote a memoir called My Life at 60, A Tale of Life, Love, and Loss, or something. That subtitle, something like that. She's on the cover. It's not.
Your manager met you, right?
Yeah. We've had a meal together a couple of times. I met him working on a show together, so he knows I'm not near 60.
Mm-hmm.
He knows this. He was in a room with me every day for like a month, so I don't know what's going on.
Maybe you had a stroke?
Perhaps. He also, I mean, I felt he had dropped the ball on a few other things without, I don't want to drag him, but,
right.
But I was like, if I'm managing myself much better.
100%. What was her gold medal sport?
Swimming, which I was a swimmer, which is weird. We're the same height. We're both blonde. She does have piercing blue eyes. Like they look fake.
And yours are green?
Yeah,
Hazel?
mine are green.
Mm-hmm.
I claim green.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can see the mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, we're both ripped to shit.
Yeah.
Actually, I've had friends like when I was more active on Facebook, when I was more of a boomer than I am now, I had friends tag me in articles about her, and they were like, one of them was she was dating an Elvis impersonator. I don't know if she still is. And one of my friends was like, congrats, like sincerely. They weren't fucking with me. And I was like, are you what?
No offense to your life and all the things I just rattled off, but her life sounds awesome. Like she sounds like she has an awesome life. It does sound awesome.
Sound awesome.
I would watch your new stand-up album called My Life as Olympian, Elvis impersonating dater with piercing blue eyes, Lisa Curry. I would absolutely watch that show.
I tried to get her on my Sirius XM show. I reached out to her through like her contact form on her website, and then her PR person wrote back, and they're like, oh, because I was like, I'd used the book as an excuse, and I was like, hey, I'm Lisa Curry and she's Lisa Curry. I'd love to have her on to promote her book. And her PR person was like, oh yeah, it's not being released in the US, so but thanks. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't actually care about the book.
Right.
I know. I'm sorry that you missed the context of the email. I give 2 fucks.
Yeah.
Why would I open the email? I'm Lisa Curry and she's Lisa Curry. Obviously, I'm unhinged. Like, please. Anyway, I'm very upset.
What's the name of your Sirius XM show?
Long Story Long. It airs Thursdays on She's So Funny, channel 771.
Hell yeah.
So check that out. Is this a weird, should I be plugging right in the middle?
Absolutely. I don't like the whole bottom of the
plugs
show.
up top.
Plugs up top.
Always.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you're going to plug it up.
That's
it's
right.
a fun show. And I had Mike on, and he was one of my favorite guests. We laughed so hard.
Yeah, we
through
did.
the whole time. I should have you on again. Honestly.
I'd love to. Well, I think like, again, to my stolen hustle from you, you were like, I just got this Sirius XM show. I'd love for you to be on it. And I was like, great, let's do it. And it was in the middle of the pandemic. And you had set up your closet like a recording studio because you were like, nothing is going to stop me from my dreams and goals. And I was like, man, thank you. I needed to see somebody. I needed contact. I needed to not feel crazy. And then I saw you and you're like, oh yeah, I got a full slate. Like I'm so busy.
Is that how you weathered the pandemic? Did you really just like stay on the
kind of move? I mean, like I did give myself a bit of a break insofar as I left LA for 7 months and I went and I lived with my cousin and her family on their homestead in Bloomington, Indiana. And it was so nice. Like I gave myself a lot of downtime. And I fucked off a lot, but I was like, I still needed kind of, I guess, guideposts. And I was like, okay, well, I have the podcast going. So that felt like, so I needed some things so I didn't feel like I had nothing in my life because I've centered my life around work. So I'm like, I took a lot of time for family, but also needed some creative outlets.
And now that things are opening back up and you're back like out on the road and everything, how are you feeling about that balance? Are you feeling, I mean, I know just like the stresses.
I feel like I really needed to be unplugged from LA for a while because now I have more of a work-life balance than I had before. I'm also not, there's something about working with Jim. I don't feel the panic I felt before of like, what if things don't happen for me? Because I'm like, okay, well, that happened. And that's something I never thought would happen because I'm not passed at the Comedy Store. And that seems to be like the path for a lot of people is like get passed at the store, suck everyone's ass there, and then, start opening for a big comic that way. And so I just kind of resigned myself to that never happening. And And then when it did, I was like, oh, yeah, I guess anything can happen.
Right.
I mean, not that was like, when I say like anything can happen, not like I was abducted by aliens or something, you know what I mean? Like, it's definitely
Although
a big
you would put that on
deal.
your resume,
Yeah.
like you're so cutthroat, you would be like, that's going under
Also
special
abducted
skills.
by aliens.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, you're just making me think, like, with everything that's happening in the fucking world today, and like, I'm so angry and upset and stressed out all the time because of like shit
Yeah.
happening politically. I just wrote to myself, I was like, I don't actually have to do what they say.
Nothing.
We don't have to do what they say, right? And you can actually just do whatever you want.
Yeah,
and that's
including laws, by the way.
Right.
I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
You think I'm following laws now?
You think I'm following it? I've
You're
been
out of
breaking
your mind.
laws my whole goddamn life.
Whole life. I
Yep.
mean, granted, yes, anyone listening or watching, I understand I'm like a white lady living in California. But listen, I'm ready to commit arson. If I could find a workaround for the prison thing,
Yeah.
I would do it. I'm just so fucking angry all the time.
True story, just hired a personal trainer because I was like, I have to get my body into fighting shape.
Oh, I'm ready to beat somebody's ass. I've been in fights a lot of times before.
Yeah. Physical
I'm
fights?
Like, yeah. And I'm like, I was a very, very angry teenager. Like I've had this. Now here's where I sound like I'm making shit up, but I literally have had rage blackouts, which if you look at, it's a thing. Apparently it's pretty common with teenagers because you just have so many hormones.
Well,
and like, if you get angry enough, you will black out. And I did, and I kind of like I curbed that behavior as an adult. I was like, I can't just be like breaking things, but I miss it.
Yeah.
Some real She-Hulk
I
shit.
really like I've punched out windows before, and there's nothing more exhilarating. I haven't found anything that matches breaking something you're not supposed to be breaking.
Hell yeah. I have friends of mine made an installation in a truck called the Smash Truck, where you would just get to go in with a sledgehammer and swing it and break shit, and it was the most satisfying. And
I love that.
I think everyone should have their own Smash Truck.
You can't. There's so many people that are like, I'm just so gentle, I would never, and I'm like, you need to get it out because otherwise you're gonna fucking kill someone.
Yeah.
You have to let it out.
Right? Some of the
There's no
sunniest
way.
people who are like just like that kind of demeanor, you know they're the ones who are going to snap.
Yeah, and it's terrifying when you meet somebody that doesn't admit to their like violent fantasies. And they're just, and you could see them. Like one of my friends, her boyfriend is always like, I'm such a nice guy, and you could just see him boiling below the surface, and it's like, oh, he's gonna pop off any day now, and it's not gonna be cool.
Yeah. I feel like that's something that people don't really acknowledge about the world of weed, is that a lot of people smoke weed because they're so mad. It's not like they're a super chill bunch of people.
Yeah.
People who smoke a lot of weed are generally doing it because they need it so they don't have rage blackouts.
Yeah. Well, I told you guys before we were recording, I microdosed mushrooms this morning because I saw another garbage SCOTUS ruling, and I was like, you know what? I'm so angry and I need to be able to function today. And because what happens for me, and I don't know about you guys, but when I get really angry, it's just like a lot of loud noise in my brain. I know that now I sound like I have schizophrenic, and I promise I'm not, but it's just like I can't even read because my brain is in a loop of like this fucking thing, like just going over and over. And I'm like, or like this morning I was listening to a podcast and I had to keep rewinding the same because I wasn't even hearing it because I was so mad. And I'm like, okay, I need to find a way to calm down. And this is after I had worked out, by the way. So I was like, I had gotten a lot of energy out.
Does the microdosing mushrooms for you clear that space for you it helps you? What does it do for you?
It just calms me down. Just like but in a way where I don't really even notice it. Like weed calms me down, but also puts me to sleep and also makes me completely incapacitated. It takes very little and I only recently started microdosing mushrooms. And I mean like recently as in last week.
Oh, wow.
Because I just happen to have a bunch of little like 5 milligram pills. And so I'm like, let me try one of these. And
Nice.
I'm like, oh, this is nice.
How did you just happen to have a bunch of pills?
Smuggled them in from Canada. Yeah, somebody gave me a little package of them because they're legal there, and I just transferred it into another little bag, And if anybody wants any tips, don't put it in your luggage because it's too dangerous. I put it in a pack of gum.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I thought, well, if I'm going through TSA and I see dogs, I'll just throw out a pack of gum.
Smart.
And they won't
Yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was it. It was only like 20 pills. I mean, I'm not like taking a haul across. That's too scary.
Right. And I feel like if you got apprehended by the TSA with mushroom pills, they wouldn't even know what they were looking at. You could be like, it's an herbal supplement, right?
Yeah, although I do think for that to be believable, that'd have to be in some kind of container and not like
In a bag
stowed
of gum.
away.
Right.
They're like, well, then why are you hiding it? And I'm like, I don't want anyone to know I have IBS. You know, I'm so ashamed. I don't have IBS unless that's what's going on with me after I have coffee in the morning. Who can tell?
Who knows?
I might be allergic to coffee.
But you heard it here first. She's not schizophrenic, and she
doesn't
doesn't have IBS.
We're just here to cover medical conditions I don't have.
Well, my poison oak's all cleared up, so I'm feeling much better.
Wait, you had poison oak?
So bad.
God damn, was that the most miserable thing you've ever had?
I had to go to the hospital for it. It was real bad.
Oh, God.
Yeah, my body was
Where did you get it?
on my body or like in the world?
No, in the world.
Oh.
Like, where?
On my body was my whole left leg. In the world, I was
Yikes.
like, I think Elysian Park.
What?
Echo Park, Elysian Park.
I thought for sure you were going to be like deep in the woods of Kentucky.
No, it was somewhere in LA.
I don't know why I just like assume. I don't know. I just think that, you know, like where you see poison oak is also where you see meth use and
Bears.
water mullets. Like I just assume that all kind of goes together.
Yeah, no, it's here in LA
Yikes.
along with the
Ouch.
urban wildlife. Yeah, definitely.
That's
I know.
not good.
Yeah, it sucked. Yeah,
It was crazy to see.
Yeah,
It was.
I made
wild.
Mike look at it. It was gross.
It was wild.
What that? I mean, that must have fucking driven you out of your mind.
Yeah, it was really weird because the way. Have you ever had poison oak?
No,
It's
I
like.
don't know why you said it like that.
I wouldn't be caught.
It's crazy because I think you're like the
I
first
would
time
never.
you encounter it, you
Uh-huh.
don't necessarily react, but then something about the way it operates with your system is the next time you get it, you're basically sort of allergic to it, and then the rash.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I
Why
don't.
would your body work like that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I need
like-
to look more into it because this is how it was explained to me by a dermatologist. So maybe he was just lying to me.
I'm allegedly immune to poison ivy, poison oak, and poison sumac, which I've had none of them.
Mhm.
And there was that shit all over my grandparents' property, and like we lived next to woods, and it was all over in the woods. The theory, my mom told me that she heard if you breastfeed, your kids are either can develop an immunity or are less susceptible to it. And I was breastfed and I never got it by
Whoa.
some miracle. I should have had it because I was like rolling around in the woods my whole life.
I thought
That's how
I was
ended up this
immune.
way.
Clearly, I'm not. But my mother only breastfed me until I was 6 months old. So
Oh,
maybe that's it.
I mean, I wasn't like on
Yet
the
another
tit till
reason to be
6 or
mad at your
anything.
mom.
yeah.
Yes.
Fuck you, mom. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any validity to that. So if anybody like wants to write me an angry email, I am a doctor.
Yes.
I think that there's got to be something to that.
Has to be.
I feel like because I'm super allergic
Mhm.
to it. Like my skin is,
Oof.
yeah, super
Like you just looked at
allergies.
my poison oak and you felt.
Yeah, and
Itchy.
yeah, I was like, like it's crazy, and so I wonder if I was.
Does it
breastfed
pass
or not.
person to person?
You can actually transfer it. Like you can. I think what might have happened actually
God.
is that my dog brushed up against the poison oak and then brushed
Oh.
up against me. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't know.
Yep, I don't know either. What's your dog's name? Lula.
Luna.
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 Yeah.
We met recently, and I
Uh-huh.
got
Yeah.
yelled at, and then was so sweet.
Luna
Yeah.
yelled at you.
Yeah.
Luna yelled at me, and then was the sweetest in the world, and like brought me toys,
Yeah.
and it was very cool. And then while Lisa and I were talking about some tour stuff, guarded us from anyone who might have been on the sidewalk.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck anyone walking past my place.
It's
She's getting
cool.
a little bit better with it because I'm like, we don't need you yelling at everyone. It's okay.
You did say that. You were like,
Yeah.
you're not a cop.
Yeah.
Relax. It was very sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, I have more questions about physical conditions.
Oh, yes.
Okay. When you eat asparagus,
Hmm.
do you experience the pee situation?
I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not. I don't know, because whenever I've had asparagus, it's with so many other things.
Okay.
And I shit so many times during the day that I don't know if I would notice a difference in my pee smell, because there's just so much shit smell in my life.
Okay.
Masking the pee smell. Yeah.
It's the odds of me even smelling my pee, unless it's like first thing in the morning when it's just pee. That's pretty much the only time I catch a whiff.
Okay.
The rest of the day I'm shitting a lot.
I last night I ate some
Don't have
vegan
IBS.
nachos from Doomy's, and I had one of the best smelling farts I've ever had in my
Oh.
life. It smelled so good. I was like, "Damn, dude, you need more vegan mole nachos in your life." Because that, I bet people
That's
would think like,
hilarious.
"Oh, that's quite nice."
Did you like Dutch oven yourself and enjoy it? Enjoy it a little bit?
I next time I will capture for sure.
If you could put it in a jar.
Yeah, you could be like that TikTok girl who she made like $1 million
yeah,
farting
that's
in
right.
jars.
And then she got sick from it or
yeah,
something?
she had to go to the hospital because she was eating so much fiber in order to produce farts to put in jars that she actually fucked herself up.
Damn,
Yeah,
I mean, it's worth $1 million though.
it really is.
of course.
Because then you can afford healthcare to go to the hospital.
Exactly.
Yeah, are you allergic to anything?
I recently found out I'm allergic to soy.
Whoa.
And by
But you're a
recently was
health
like a
freak,
few years ago.
Lisa.
I know. I was trying to transition away from meat, and I was eating a lot of tofu, and I had real bad cystic acne, like extremely painful. And then I was in Indonesia for a couple of weeks and didn't have any tofu, and it all cleared up 100%. And I'm like, now I notice, like, if I eat something and it has soy in it, I'll notice because I'll break out the next day, and I'm like, fuck this. I mean, I'll still have sushi and like a little bit of soy sauce.
Mhm.
But yeah, I can't have it, which sucks because I'm like, well, I mean, I do like the taste of meat, but I was like trying to eat less of it, and I'm like, well, it's not really much of an option now.
What are your feelings on meat alternatives like the Impossible Burger
I
or Beyond
fucking
Beef?
love the Impossible Burger, but I think the Beyond Burger I can't have because it has soy in it, but I think it's delicious. It's so good. Although I really do love meat though.
Maybe it was on Reggie Watts's Instagram. There was somewhere where I saw recently that they are growing meat without animal, like do you know about this?
What?
Lab
No.
grown meat.
Oh, that's
like
weird.
they're growing it from cultures that just exist in the laboratory without a sentient, it's, yeah. I don't know anything more about it. So
I love
now I'm
that.
just saying a bunch of words. But
Sign me up, please.
yeah,
Yeah.
growing meat in labs. I don't
mean,
know.
There's something about, I mean,
It's gross.
you guys like food.
Yeah.
It's the cooking it and the whole ritual and a tradition and like spicing something and like, adding vegetables to the meal. It's like, it's just all of that, all of the act of it together is so soothing and satisfying and good. And it feels like making a big meal for people feels so good. And then I'm like, you don't get this. I'm sorry. You just don't get the same effect when you're like, a block of tofu. Anyone?
You're cracking open petri dishes and putting them on the counter for apps.
Yeah. It doesn't. It just doesn't have the same pizzazz, I guess.
It sounds like you love
Yeah.
cooking.
I do really love cooking. I don't do like big meals much. Although I was going to mention, well, to both of you, Mike, because I know you really love to cook. I got, when I was in Alaska, when I did those gigs, this local comic, his mom sent me home with a case full of fish. And so my roommates and I used to do fish dinner once a month where we would like eat halibut or salmon or whatever, because I got like $500 of it for free.
Nice.
Whoa.
And I still have some halibut left, but my roommates are mostly gone over the next couple months. And I'm like, I got to get through this before it's like freezer burnt or whatever. So, I mean, if you want to come over and fucking
Some fish
downstairs
dish?
neighbor, my downstairs neighbor has a grill. We could grill it up.
Ooh, yeah. I've learned a lot of great fish dishes from Mary Jane. Do you know she
Oh.
worked on an Alaskan fishing boat?
I did not know that. Wait, did you work on one of those shows? Deadliest Catch? Or
No, I
Oh.
milked it for all it was worth though, because I actually had like this sort of one of the most it wasn't cushy because it was
Uh-huh.
definitely like working hard on a boat,
Uh-huh.
but it was in Southeast Alaska in the salmon trolling fishery, which is
Ooh.
like hook and line, no bycatch, really. And all of the boats that are catching the salmon are like little 1 and 2 person operations. So it's not like high seas, big boat stuff at all.
That
It's like
sounds so
around
cool.
the islands.
Wait, are
and
you from there?
I'm from Newfoundland in
Oh,
Canada,
okay.
but my sister was a fisheries biologist and she got me a job on this salmon
What?
boat, and I did it for 4 years and it was awesome. And when I was doing it, it was right when the perfect storm had just come out and deadliest catch and all this stuff. And my friends were like, "Oh my God, that's so badass!" And I was like literally watching, humpback whales and like just having the most
Oh,
sort of
God,
like
I love
bucolic
that.
time. So it was
You guys should come over and we can
beautiful.
have a fish dinner.
Let's do fish.
yeah.
I'm going to name a couple of new recipes I've learned from Mary Jane. Tell me if you're excited by them.
Yeah.
Cioppino. Do you know what that is?
Wait, that's the pasta with the clams and stuff?
It's like a soupy situation, which I know we've gotten in a
Oh,
lot of
soup.
fights about.
Yeah.
But this is like a fishy soup.
It's like a fish stew.
Stew.
Like
I
with
like
a
it,
lot
but
of tomatoes.
really, that's one of those things that really has to be done well.
Yes.
Yes.
Because if it's not, it just is like, oh, this is all the old fish you had.
That's so true.
It is a
It's disgusting.
this was on clearance. Okay.
Yeah, a can of tuna,
Yeah.
some sardines,
Yeah.
Ugh.
old mussels.
I do love
Oh.
sardines though.
Yeah.
My dad. I didn't know that you're supposed to put them on crackers and shit. Because my dad and I would just eat them straight out of the can.
Oh, yum.
Just like sit down and watch Zorro. I can eat sardines. I am an old man. And one time I brought them in like 3rd grade. I brought them to school lunch, and everyone left my lunch table. They were like, "I don't know what the fuck's going on here, but it's not right."
That's awesome. Well, between the two of you, your school lunches sound horrendous.
Oh, my mom used to send me to school with tongue sandwiches.
Mm-mm.
No,
No.
I was not popular.
You can't even
Cancel your
trade for
mom.
anything. That's
No.
so crazy.
It's so disappointing that
Couldn't
you can
trade.
get canceled for like, hate speech and not sending your child to school with a tongue sandwich. That's cancelable, I think.
Way more. Absolutely. Wait, are you saying you should get canceled for tongue sandwiches?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm
Yeah,
on
yeah.
board.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I just want to be on the right side of
Sorry to
things.
your mom.
It's a
but-
cruel thing to do to like a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got bullied by Sue Ann Tilley, who made me carry her lunchbox because,
Sue, fuck yourself.
Yep, Sue Ann. Yep.
I'll box her.
I'm so excited I know you.
I love this.
Have you ever heard of something called jade dumplings?
I have not.
Ooh, I was just going through a bunch of old cooking photos because I
Mhm.
got interviewed for a show that I'm never going to get on. But, it was nice to be interviewed for it. And I saw a picture of when we made jade dumplings together from fucking scratch. And I can't remember the recipe, so please interrupt, but they are great fish dumplings.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
just the best salmon you can find with super simple, a little sesame oil, chopped up scallions, salt, pepper, and just wrapped up in a little gyoza wrapper. And then you can either pan fry them or boil them, and then you serve them with a little ponzu sauce.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You eat like 100 of them while like sitting down, eat them like
Yeah.
popcorn.
Yeah, so
Oof.
good.
Yeah. Oh, I have a question for you
Yeah,
because
yes.
we've gone on the road twice, and your snack game is really impressive, whether it's on the road or on tour. So how do you actually eat healthy when you're driving from city to city or flying
You gotta plan it.
and being in hotels? Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Well, now that I live on Quest bars. I just had one in the car on the way here.
I don't know what
I
that
actually
is.
really like them. They're protein bars that are like high in protein, no sugar. It's just like it's the best thing for like if you need a lot of protein bars, quote unquote protein bars are like basically a Snickers bar because there's so much sugar in it, or it's like coated in caramel or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind bars or candy bars. So I do a lot of those, a lot of nuts. I used to do beef jerky, but I don't like how it gets stuck in my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that.
Although I'm really big on, they're not remotely healthy, but Cheez-Its. I fucking love Cheez-Its. I can't do a car trip without Cheez-Its.
We just learned that Cheez-Its are made in an oven the size of a football field. They're actually
what?
baked by being put into an oven at the start, and then the length of time that they travel is how long it takes them to it's a slow bake.
Ooh.
So they just move really slowly through this 100-yard long oven.
I got hooked on them in 3rd grade. My teacher would bring them in whenever we would do standardized testing. That she brought in Cheez-Its for us to snack on, and I just loved that teacher so much. And I'm a good test taker. And so it's just like so many. I'm like, I'm filling out these bubbles and I'm fucking breaking records here. I'm so smart. And so it was like, it's a really positive memory.
That's awesome.
And I like love Cheez-Its.
What do you? How do you deal with like hotel situations and
Hotels?
clubs and all
I do well. If it depends on my staying situation. When I was in the UK, because I was staying at a friend's house, I bring all my own breakfast, which in the morning I did this. Stacia Patwell is a fucking magician, and I did her like workout program last year. I started that last summer. It's incredible. She runs this workout program called School of Thought, and it's like 45 to 55-minute videos.
But it's thought, THOT, right?
THOT, yeah. And you do it all at home. So that I've been doing on the road. That's fucking real easy to do in a hotel room or when I'm staying with somebody or whatever.
Is it like booty popping and shit?
No.
Is that why it's
really
THOT?
intense.
Oh, okay.
No, it's THOT because like we just get super ripped and hot.
School of Thought. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Stacia's body is ridiculous. She also does a lot of like weightlifting and other stuff. But so like that's really easy to implement. And then she just taught us a lot. Like she teaches you when you do her program, she teaches you about macros and like tracking that. Cause I was like, I've always eaten healthy, but I didn't know how you're supposed to balance like protein with like living in LA. I thought you're supposed to do no fucking carbs ever.
Nothing white.
But her thing is like lots of carbs, but it's like complex carbs, like carbs you're supposed to have. So it's like, anyway, so for breakfast every morning, I have oatmeal and a protein shake, which is delicious. Like it's just a chocolate protein shake. So then when I go on the road, if I'm going to have access to a kitchen or hot water or microwave or whatever, I portion out all my little oatmeals and I put those in Ziploc bags. And then I bring like my blender bottle in like protein and whatever for shakes.
Yeah.
But then kind of lunch and dinner, I just eat healthy because I'm like, I'm not going to bring all my fucking food. I'm not going to bring a whole kitchenette or whatever, but you know.
Damn, that's such a smart way to go.
Yeah, this sounds very appealing to me.
It also like if I'm like having like a healthy breakfast and I have like, you know, a Quest bar later, if I'm hungry and I need a snack, then, you know, if I'm on the road with Jim and we order dinner, I'm like, well, I can pick out. I'm going to have the steak and potatoes with butter and whatever. Cause I'm like, well, the rest of my day's been super healthy. So
yeah,
I'm going to allow myself that.
What about pre-show? When you're doing a show, do you eat before a show?
Like green room snacks?
I used to not. Like when I first started, I couldn't.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I'll have Thanksgiving dinner before. I don't give a fuck.
IBS be damned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't eat before a show.
Oh,
for hours before.
Yeah, you kind of want to be like light and clean, right? When you get on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes it has done more harm than good when I can't think straight. I'm just up there being angry. Yeah, truly. Yeah. And then I'll have like one whiskey before it, and I'm like, uh-oh. You know what I mean? Because I have like empty. Yeah.
See, the first couple gigs with Jim, I didn't eat until afterwards. But we usually we're in the habit now of like, on this tour, with this new touring company, all the shows are at 7. And so we'll get to the theater at 6 and dinner is there ready for us. And I'm like, if we hold for time, if we hold till like 7:15, 7:30, and then I do my set, and like by the time I would get to dinner, it'd be 8. I'm like, I'm not going to leave my food sitting there for 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know,
some security guard's going to eat it.
Yeah.
What kind of venues are you playing? Like what size
They're
venues?
all theaters, baby.
Yeah.
They're so nice. It's like
awesome.
2,000 to 3,000 seat theaters.
Holy shit.
It's,
was this the first
so
time
fun.
in your career that you were playing to houses that big?
I did one other spot. A friend of mine, again with like the hustle thing. My friend Jeff Houghton, he was just in LA this week. He lives in Springfield, Missouri, and he always wanted to have his own late night show. So he's like, well, I'm just gonna do it because he has like a wife and kids and all his family's there. He's like, I'm not gonna realistically live in LA or New York. So he started doing this weekly late night show, and then it grew and grew and grew, and until the point that he was doing it at this theater, the Galois Theater in Springfield. And it's like a 2,000 seat theater. Wow. And he would have it filmed and like it ran, I don't know if it still is, but it ran on like local Fox stations. Like he sold it to a bunch of TV stations, not just local, but I think like 15 or so. Not local to Springfield, but like local, meaning like it wasn't on national Fox or anything.
Yeah.
But he invited me out to be a guest on the show and to perform on the show. So I did like a late night set for like 1,500 people or whatever there,
And that was
so
your
fun.
tape for a while, right?
That was my tape for a while. And his show has won 4 Emmys. They're
Wow.
not, yeah.
Fucking awesome.
It's like, just do your fucking thing wherever you are, you know?
Do you like how does a venue size or crowd size affect what you do? Like, are you still just playing to the people that you can see, or do you have to sort of like adjust?
Oh, I try to play to everyone. I'm really cognizant after like watching other people, because I'm always trying to learn, and I'm watching what everyone else does. I try to like play up to the balcony a little bit too, or at least like look up to them, because I'm like, they're probably not there because they had $500 for a ticket and didn't feel like it, like
yeah.
My material's different only in that it's different with Jim, where if I'm doing my own gigs, I'm going to go way off topic. I'm going to fuck around a lot. I'm going to try new stuff. Or when I'm with Jim, I'm like, I'll throw out something that I think of in the moment, if it's just like a sidebar or punchline or whatever, but I'm not going way off topic. I'm not trying new stuff. I'm like, it's not, because I feel like it's my set, but it's not my show. So it's not my place to like fuck around. I'm like, I'm just here to set this up. That's all.
And you do?
Yeah.
Fuck
I think I do. I hope I do.
I bet you do.
Come on, man.
We know you do.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That actually leads me to something I wanted to suck your ass a little bit.
Whoa.
Like the Comedy Store. Because I'm going to be wedging a bunch of stuff in here, but I hope it
please
makes
do.
sense.
Mhm.
There's a direct parallel between the stand-up comedy scene and the cannabis scene. And one thing that I've really admired about you in the stand-up scene that, again, I've stolen from you is the idea of there's a right way to ask for and go for what you want and ask other people for help along the way, while also thinking of other people for opportunities that might not be right for you to say like, I did this, or maybe this wasn't for me, but give it a go if you want. Like you sent me that thing for, was it Abu Dhabi? No.
Wait, for Dubai?
Dubai.
The Dubai gigs?
Yeah. And you were like, yo, I did this. I don't know if you even told me straight up, you're like, you do a lot of shit about weed and drugs. They're probably not going to fuck with you, but here's the information if you have something. I was like, thank you. And I didn't submit because I don't think I'm right. But there's like these direct parallels between how you approach comedy and getting what you want and asking for what you want, while also giving a lot of opportunity to other people that I wish the weed game had more of.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's really important to give to other people. I mean, not like in a hokey way, not even like karma or like it all comes back to you or whatever. It's just like, I think it helps. The more you share information with other people and the more you try to help them get opportunities, I think it helps curb your own sense of like scarcity, because you're like, oh, there is enough for everyone. And here you go. Like I was teaching this packet writing class for a little while, and whenever I would teach the class, if within the course of the class I got packet information, I would share it with the students. And one of the students wrote me a couple months after, and she's like, oh, by the way, that I interviewed for that job. I didn't get to round 2, but she interviewed for it. And I was like, fuck yeah. But the thing is, I think the misnomer in entertainment is like, I think there's a tendency to think like, oh, she interviewed for it, therefore she took my interview spot. And it's like, no. If I was a better candidate for her for that particular job, I would have interviewed for it and she wouldn't have.
Yep.
She didn't.
Yeah.
Or if I was a good candidate for that job, I would have also interviewed for it. It's like, she didn't take my spot. She took a spot I wasn't going to get anyway.
Yeah.
I really do wish people would have that mindset, especially in the weed world, because like currently I just wrote a piece recently about sexism in the cannabis industry, and the blowback was from a lot of dudes who were like, of course, they were like, shut up, you dumb, get out of here. We don't want you anyway.
We're not sexist, you fucking bitch.
Exactly.
You're like,
sexism is a myth, cunt.
Yeah.
And
But there is this funny sort of there's a panic happening in cannabis right now because it is going corporate, it is going mainstream. There is a move to legalize it federally, and then the corporations will show up and they will take it. So there is that feeling of sort of needing to hang on to it. But I think that that attitude is coming from a place of terror, obviously. And that if they could let go of that fear and say, well, let me see that there is enough for all of us, have some sort of abundance around the concept of the fact that it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
We can all benefit from it if we work together, would be a nice shift. That would be nice.
It is nice. And also, like, you know, I find that there's one person in particular I think of a lot because I used to have a lot of anger towards them, and now I just feel sorry for them, where this comic operates from a place of fear all the time and will not, like, not only won't share information, but is also backstabby and like secretive, and they'll ask other people for information. And now, you know, over the years, that person has kind of been pushed out more and more from people's circles, because it's like, I'll share shit with Mike and then he'll share shit back with me. And that's how I am with my friends. And I'm like, I want us to all come up. Like, I don't want to be everybody to be dependent on me having a fucking pool house.
Right.
Like, I need you to have a pool house so I don't have to pay a gardener. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I want us all to win, but I feel like if you're not on board with that, eventually people stop fucking with you, and then you're truly on your own and you look stupid. So it's like, I don't want that.
And you're lonely and sad.
And your bits suck.
You do get less funny. You get
less funny when you're lonely and sad.
I don't think it serves
I
you
think
as well as
also
like succeeding and being proud.
Of course.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, like if I see you go up somewhere, Mike, and I think of a tag for you, I'm going to tell you that person, I'm like, I'm not interested in their success. Like, I don't wish them any harm, but I'm also like, I'm not even watching your set. I don't fucking care. Because fuck off.
Yep.
You
And
know?
there's like no harm in that either, honestly.
Yeah.
The like, oh no, all you do is take.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
You definitely don't have to be nice to those people, I've learned.
No.
But it took me a really long ass time to learn that I don't have to be nice to people who are
that's the thing.
assholes.
There is also like there is like a weird toxic positivity thing too, where people are like, well, you know, people that are the hardest to love need love the most, and so you should share with them more. And I'm like, I'm not giving them my time. I'm sorry, I'm not fucking Buddha or whatever. I'm not pretending to be. I'm filled with rage. The fact that I'm neutral with somebody who stabbed me in the back is, I think, commendable.
Definitely. 100%.
Highly commendable.
Yeah. What about asking for what you want? Has that always
Always.
come easy to you? Is there a technique? It's like, because I've struggled with it because I think like, oh, I'm just going to be so good that everyone's going to come to me and like want my attention and all. And it's not the fucking case. It's just not.
I think even if you are great, people, two things can happen. One, people feel like, you know, we're all presenting as though we're killing it so hard, which, you know, you and I are crushing.
We do have great momentum right now. I was just talking with Mary Jane about it. Like, it's very hard to create momentum in any business. And and this is the longest my momentum has carried before whenever the dip happens.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think sometimes people don't reach out because they think, oh, they're doing fine, or they're too busy, or whatever. Or people get weirdly nervous, like when they see you doing well. Even other people that you think of as like doing better than you or on the same level are like, I don't know, they're going to say no. So I think it is important to ask. And what I've learned is like, if you ask in the right way and you're not a psycho, because I mean, I've had people come to me real crazy after I started working with SiriusXM, and they were just like, put me on your show. Like, not even like, I'd love to be on it. They were like, hey, put me on your show, or hey, put me in touch with that's not a question. That's a demand, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not coming from confidence either, right? It's not coming from a place of...
It's coming from entitlement,
which
right?
I don't react well to.
No.
But I find that, like, you know, if you approach things well and with sincerity, here's another thing. Like, if I genuinely don't like somebody, I'm not going to fuck with them. And that means I'm also not going to ask them for favors. Like, because it's just like, we're crisscrossing our worlds then, and I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people keep people in their lives that they actively don't like because they're like, well, I might need a favor from them. And that's just such a toxic way to operate.
We were just having a conversation right before we came into the
Mhm.
studio today about someone who was like that and was like, better just not to engage, not
Yeah.
to do the dance with that
Yeah.
whole situation.
Mhm.
Better
I'm
to
like,
just
I'll
let
stay
it be.
cordial, but only because I don't want like drama in
Yeah,
my
of
work
course.
life.
Always
you
be
know?
civil, always be
Yeah.
pleasant, always be polite, but we don't need to
Yeah.
touch it.
But I think ask for what you want always. And
Yeah.
if the answer is no, it's like, okay, did you only want one thing? Loser. Go ask for more shit. Just keep asking.
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
love that. Mm-hmm.
You'll
Yeah.
get some
You
of
want
it.
plugs?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do
All
it.
right.
All
I
the
mean, that's an
plugs.
awesome way to end. So I'm going to
Keep
ask you
Yeah.
for some plugs, and then people
Uh-huh.
should fuck with you because you're
Yeah.
asking
Oh,
them to
thank
fuck
you.
with you.
Yes, please do. I would love if everyone would follow me on Instagram. Please follow me on Instagram at Olympian Lisa Curry. Listen, I'm trying to post videos. I tried to post one today and it's not working. I'm bad with technology. I am your dad. But I'm also told that I need more Instagram followers if I want to do the road. So please help. I post lots of fun stuff. And when I'm on the road with Jim, I post a lot of like backstage stuff and all kinds of cool videos.
Your hotel and
Uh-huh.
Jet BTS
Uh-huh.
is so good on your Instagram.
Oh, thanks.
Like you're like I don't know, man. I'm a sucker for a cozy robe in a hotel room. Like, what are
Yeah.
we talking about? You know?
Also, I'm so stoked. I'm like, I spent so much of my life, like when I was first starting to go on the road, crashing on people's couches, sleeping on their floor. There's a fucking dead mouse in the room. That's a real thing. Like, I have slept on a dog bed. So anytime somebody's paying for a hotel for me now, it could be like a shit hotel. And I'm like, look at this. A bed with sheets. It's so exciting.
Amazing.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that. And I'm going to be we only take a private jet to Vegas only. And we're doing that again in August. So definitely follow now so you can see that.
Heck yeah.
And also my show Long Story Long is on SiriusXM on She's So Funny channel 771 Thursdays at noon and 8 p.m. Eastern. It used to be mostly comics and some musicians, and now I've moved more towards like scientists and people in politics and things because it's just interesting, and it's also like I'm testing my own skill of keeping tough conversations funny.
That's
which
very
is a lot of
cool.
fun.
Yeah. Wow.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that's my stuff.
I think we did a good job today talking about some hard stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, you're great.
It was fucking awesome.
Poison Oak?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Never again.
The Poison Oak community.
It's actually
Yeah.
not its fault. It's your fault for being near the
Yeah.
Poison Oak.
Oh God.
You're in its home.
Yeah, what is it called? Victim blaming?
Victim. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Brother, I should have shut up a minute ago, Lisa.
Fine.
Follow us at Weed and Grub on Instagram. Please leave us a review right now. We would love anyone listening to just like get in the app that you're using and give us a review, give us 5 stars, whatever it is. That really helps our algorithm, and we want to reach more people with fun interviews like this one. Email us cool things at wg@weedandgrub.com. Let us know what you want to hear from us, who you want us to invite on the show. Send us pictures of dogs, food you've made,
Mm-hmm.
anything you feel like.
Yeah.
That's us.
Thank you.
Thank
Lisa,
you.
Thank
This
you.
has been
Thank
so
you so
fun.
much.
Thank you
This was
so
great.
much. Come
Bye,
back anytime.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.